Let's be honest. Few moments feel as emotionally confusing as when a man you had strong feelings for suddenly disappears, only to reappear weeks or even months later. You sit there, staring at that message. Hey, how have you been? Wondering what it means, what he wants, and more importantly, why now? If you've ever implemented no contact and found yourself on the receiving end of a man's unexpected return, today's message is for you. Because this moment, this return, is not random, it's not an accident, and it's not always love. In fact, most people misunderstand what this behavior means entirely. They either see it as proof that he still cares, or they mistake it for closure. But the real reason men come back after no contact has far less to do with love and everything to do with psychology, ego, timing, and something much more powerful, your shift in energy. Today I want to walk you through what actually happens during no contact, what triggers a man to reappear, and how you can respond with clarity, self-respect, and confidence, rather than falling back into a cycle that's already failed you once. No contact is not just a dating tactic, it's a boundary. And for the first time in a long time, it creates space for you to step out of reactive mode and into reflection. But what most people don't realize is that the person on the other end, yes, even the avoidant man who seemed emotionally detached, is also feeling that silence. Men who are used to being chased, pursued, or emotionally accommodated begin to feel an unfamiliar discomfort when that pattern is broken. Your absence creates contrast. It highlights what life is like without you. And suddenly, they're forced to ask themselves questions they've been avoiding. Why did she stop reaching out? Is she over me? Did she find someone else? This mental uncertainty, combined with their own ego, emotional triggers, or sudden loneliness, often drives the impulse to reconnect. But don't confuse curiosity with commitment. When you stop reaching out, texting, or checking in, it may feel like you're doing nothing, but in truth, you're doing everything. Silence isn't empty. It's a message. And for someone used to your emotional availability, it creates an unfamiliar void. Avoidance, in particular, rely on a certain kind of rhythm in relationships. They pull back and you chase. When you break that pattern, they notice, even if they don't say it. Your silence disrupts the emotional script they've grown comfortable with. For the first time, they're left alone with their thoughts, without the comfort of your validation or reassurance. This contrast forces them to reflect. Even if only subconsciously, it stirs questions. Why isn't she reaching out? Has she moved on? That internal dialogue begins not because they miss you deeply, but because they miss the role they played in your life. Emotional detachment on your end creates curiosity on theirs. But this curiosity isn't always driven by love. It's often driven by uncertainty. And humans, especially those with avoidant tendencies, dislike uncertainty more than they dislike absence. Suddenly, your lack of communication feels louder than words. It destabilizes the emotional control they once felt in the dynamic, and that shift alone is powerful. The brain craves patterns. When you were constantly available, they built emotional expectations around your behavior. Silence breaks that loop. That's why avoidants often reappear out of nowhere, not because they had a full emotional revelation, but because your absence triggered a rupture in the comfort they built around your presence. It's not your voice they miss, it's the way your attention made them feel. This is where your power begins to grow, because when you stop responding on autopilot, you reclaim emotional real estate in the dynamic. You're no longer reacting, you're choosing, and that silence, far from passive, is an active reclaiming of your self-worth. It invites reflection not only in them, but more importantly in you. It's the first moment you begin leading the connection with clarity instead of hope. Here's the truth. No one likes to admit many men come back, not because they've had a sudden epiphany about their feelings, but because their ego has been bruised. When you go no contact, especially if you were previously the one investing more, it disrupts the emotional hierarchy. The man who once felt confident in your availability now finds himself wondering if he was wrong. That bruised ego, it demands reassurance.
In fact, studies in behavioral psychology show that intermittent reinforcement, the pattern of unpredictability, makes us crave validation more intensely. And in the male psyche, especially one shaped by avoidant tendencies, your silence becomes a mystery they feel compelled to solve. But don't mistake that curiosity for love. Ego wants comfort. Love wants responsibility. And when a man comes back, your job is not to decode his message, but to ask whether he's truly capable of showing up in a new way, or if he's simply soothing a temporary discomfort. When someone is used to being the one who withdraws, who sets the pace of the emotional connection, the moment you stop chasing can cause an internal jolt. It's not just about missing you, it's about their ego registering a loss of control. They were comfortable knowing you were always there. Your silence is now perceived as rejection, and rejection, even for the emotionally distant, hits the ego. The avoidant partner often expects that emotional distance will draw you in, not push you away. So when you do the opposite, when you detach, stay silent, and resist the urge to explain, they don't just notice, they become unsettled. Their mind flips from, I need space to wait, why isn't she trying? And in that reversal, what often surges forward isn't vulnerability, but ego-driven curiosity masked as care. This sudden interest may appear like renewed affection or regret, but it's essential to recognize what's really driving it. It's not always about love, it's often about reassurance. Reassurance that they could still get your attention if they wanted it, that you haven't moved on without them. This is the emotional boomerang effect, where silence forces them to seek out the very validation they used to avoid. Ego recoil often shows up through half efforts, a casual text, a late night, how have you been, a social media, like these are emotional check-ins, not emotional investments. They're not necessarily ready to re-enter the relationship. What they want is to confirm they still matter. Understanding this prevents you from mistaking an ego reflex for emotional growth or sincere re-engagement. If you interpret their return as a sign of love without discernment, you may end up back in the same cycle. So, the real test isn't whether they come back, it's whether they return with consistency, accountability, and real emotional availability. Until then, their interest is not a compliment, it's a clue that your distance disrupted the comfort their ego once rested on, and that disruption is exactly where your leverage lies. No contact is not about revenge or games. It's about clarity. And what most people don't talk about is how you change during that time. When you stop chasing, your self-worth recalibrates. You begin to see the dynamic for what it was, often imbalanced, full of over-explaining, people-pleasing, or waiting for breadcrumbs of affection. And the moment you stop participating in that dance, something powerful happens. You stop waiting, you start choosing. And from that new place, his return feels different. You're not the same person who once needed validation from him. You don't need him to choose you anymore. You've already chosen yourself. This energy shift is magnetic. It's why he senses something's changed. It's what draws him back. But here's the twist, your healing dismantles the dynamic he was thriving in. So now he's met with a version of you that won't tolerate inconsistency, won't beg for affection. When you enter no contact and truly start focusing on yourself, something unexpected begins to happen. Your growth becomes visible not just to you, but to the person who left. Through silence, you begin to rebuild your self-worth, routine, appearance, and emotional clarity. The result, you start reflecting a version of yourself they may not have fully seen or appreciated before. This reflection acts like a mirror, showing them not only what they lost, but what they failed to nurture. Growth has a way of creating contrast. Where once you might have felt anxious, available, and reactive, now you seem calm, centered, and confident. That shift, especially if they left believing you would stay stagnant, stuck in hurt, or waiting for them, your newfound calmness reveals their emotional instability. It's unsettling for someone who's used to being chased or prioritized to witness you reprioritize yourself. Your life moving forward without their presence highlights everything they might still be avoiding: growth, vulnerability, and emotional responsibility. In this way, your healing silently exposes their emotional immaturity. Often, people don't realize what they had until it's no longer orbiting them. When you break that emotional orbit, they begin to feel the vacuum. And the more you grow in peace and strength, the harder it becomes for them to ignore what they walked away from. Not because they've changed, but because you have. And that change becomes a quiet confrontation of everything they never faced. But it's critical to understand this. Their discomfort doesn't necessarily mean they're ready to rise to your new level. The mirror might draw them back, but it's not proof they've done the work. Sometimes people return not because they've evolved, but because they miss the version of you that made them feel needed. It's up to you to stay aligned with your growth and require more than just a nostalgic impulse. Now, it's important to understand not all men return for the same reason. There are two main types of men who come back after no contact. The first is the one driven by nostalgia, loneliness, or ego. He doesn't come back with change, he comes back with words. He wants to see if the door is still open, he wants to know he still has access, but once he sees that you're still strong in your boundaries, he may retreat just as quickly as he arrived. The second type is rarer. This man has done the inner work. He's used the space to reflect not just on you, but on his own emotional avoidance or fear of intimacy. And when he comes back, he doesn't just offer an apology, he offers accountability. There's clarity, consistency, and an intention to rebuild trust, not just regain access. Your power lies in your ability to tell the difference, not based on what he says, but on what he consistently does. Human beings are wired to be curious about what they can no longer access. When you implement no contact, not as a tactic, but as a commitment to self-respect, it introduces uncertainty into a dynamic where your availability was once predictable. This sudden shift in energy disrupts their expectations and naturally provokes questions they didn't previously ask. People often underestimate the psychological power of absence. When you're no longer there to reassure, respond, or react, your ex is left to fill in the blanks. That lack of information becomes a breeding ground for curiosity. Are they missing me? Have they moved on? Was I wrong about them? The mind begins creating stories in the silence, and each imagined version of you becomes more powerful. The unpredictability of your absence creates an emotional vacuum. When someone is used to having access to your thoughts, your emotions, your presence, and that access is removed, they're forced to confront a version of life without you. This makes them revisit old moments, reconsider their choices, and wonder if they misjudged the outcome. Curiosity isn't always about love, it's about uncertainty. Silence, unlike begging or pleading, doesn't demand attention, it commands it. Your absence says something stronger than any words could. It sends a message that you value your peace more than their confusion, that you're no longer available for half-hearted love. This energy shift creates contrast, where once you may have over-explained, now you reveal nothing, and that mystery often becomes magnetic. But curiosity should never be mistaken for commitment. Just because someone is intrigued by your silence doesn't mean they're ready to offer clarity. Some people return just to soothe their own ego or confirm they still have a hold on you. That's why it's essential to discern the difference between genuine interest and temporary insecurity. Your power lies in not needing their curiosity to validate your worth. When a man returns after no contact, it's often because your absence mirrored something to him about who he is, what he lost, or how he failed to show up. But the real transformation is not in his return, it's in your response. You don't need to punish, perform, or explain. You simply need to stay rooted in the version of yourself that no longer settles for potential. That version that values peace over chaos, that chooses being chosen, not tolerated. So when he texts, "Hey, how have you been?" You'll no longer feel butterflies, you'll feel clarity. And you'll know that his return isn't the plot twist, it's just the epilogue to a story you've already outgrown. And that is the real reason men come back after no contact. Not because you disappeared, but because in your silence you finally saw your worth. If this message resonated with you, don't just listen, act. You deserve a love that doesn't leave you guessing. So take your power back, not by chasing closure, but by becoming the kind of person who no longer needs it. If you're ready to stop reliving the same patterns and finally break free, subscribe for more videos that give you the tools, clarity, and confidence to choose better. And if you know someone stuck in the same cycle, share this with them. It might be the turning point they've been waiting for. Your healing isn't just about letting them go, it's about choosing yourself fully and unapologetically.